What's happening, fam? LAR movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. What has America in crisis? This might seem a bit presumptuous for some. So I'm going to list a few things that I think that are and have been in crisis in America, and that are causing America to be a little topsy turvy. One, health. I think America is obese, and part of that obesity leads to overconsumption. So I think, the health of America has created an issue where we eat more, we use more, we throw away more. We might, you might use more. We might use more energy because, for one, we weigh more, but for two, we need a lot more energy to cool down and warm up. So that's a issue. The other thing about the health is America's health issues basically created a boom in the in the pharmacy industry. You know what I'm saying? In the prescription industry. So we're on a lot of medications because of predominantly bad health, which has side effects, which cause us to be sometimes in worse health. The American diet is not conducive to actually living a long life. And so you see a split of two Americas as far as health, as far as people who are fit and people who are fading away. I'll just say it that way. So that's causing a crisis in America because, it's kind of like a choice-based culling, so we're cutting the population by health. And then the other thing about that is, with the majority of the population of Caucasians, the majority of them being over 55, this nation is going to change when those people die, because their children weren't making children at the rate to replace their parents and grandparents. So that's a whole nother thing. So that creates a quote unquote power shift, just as far as a representation. But other people died too, so it's not like so one for one thing. But because of the numbers are so big, kind of it's going to level out the nation's population as far as demographics. Number two, America's is finance. This country is in debt. It's in massive debt, and with a supposed influx of, say, baby boomers leaving money to their children and their children inheriting a good sum of wealth. For one, you're going to have less people. You say some of them are going to be richer, but the country's still going to owe that money. So you're going to have a smaller population that owes another country. And these people are going to be inheriting things, so so you might wind up having a population who they're financially secure, but the nation's financially in the red. So that might create a whole other problem as far as taxation goes, or trying to use a different population to, squeeze money out of a particular group, which, as we're in this housing, because where I'm at is like a housing boom, in a sense where it's hard to find property. So you got people deserting towns and this, that, and the third. So you're seeing a boom in one city or state, and a bust in another, where people are abandoning that city or state. Now the third thing is technology. And the reason why I say technology is technology has put America in crisis because everything in America is on camera. So you get to see the hypocrisies of America, live. You get to see the fractures in the system live. You get to see how rules apply, how rules apply to different people at different times in different groups, and they apply differently in the same circumstances. And you start to question, you start to look at America like, oh, okay, this is the game we playing. So America's at a crisis because, you know, it's, you know, we can talk about how the past was so bad, you know, as far as hypocrisy goes, but the present hypocrisy is still on camera, to the point that you got to assume that this is what it is because people are on autopilot. This is how people are socialized. This is how people are groomed to be, and this is the hypocrisy that people are groomed to protect and sustain. So, I think that in itself creates a whole nother problem. The other thing about technology is, I think we're in a crisis because, you know, this already is an egotistical country, but the narcissism and the rise of mental issues, I think, stem from the narcissism of technology, of always being seen and wanting to be seen, and wanting to be liked, and this, that, and the third. So I think at the end of the day, you're dealing with a country who is mentally fragile and mentally weak, because our self-esteem is tied to a device, you know, and our sense and our seeing of the reality in America, you know, it messes with our sensibilities, because what if what I see is opposite of what I thought, and now I have to wrestle with that, and that's just a one-off, but it happens again and again and again and again and again. At some point, you got to deal with how technology is exposing America to be what not as good as it has been portrayed itself to be, you know, for so long. So that's, you know, my top three in that one. I'm gonna get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, but die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.